Well, we first started the garden because we had recently moved into the neighborhood. There was nothing there at all. So when we started the block club, we included the gardens because of the abandoned lots. That were so many abandoned lots on the street. We got 2 of them for the garden, 1 for flowers, 1 for vegetables, and the other 5, we covered them with grass, so they didn't look like abandoned lots anymore. So that was our original start.
Originally, where our gardens are now, there were some abandoned houses that were being used for illicit activities. We had the city raise them, and subsequently we began to put in new topsoil and things that were donated by Grassroots Gardens so that we could bring the soil back, and out of that manifested the 2 types of gardens that we have.
The community, let's put it to the community first, because we've had, actually where the gardens are, there's a pathway that comes through the other street that they go, the children and everybody goes to the park that's on the other side. So this has been seen by a lot of people, and they are so appreciative of having something nice to look at. They feel sometimes like they've moved to another area coming through there to see, and they've told me that. We put the pathway through there with the chips so that the kids can walk without going through the mud, and it has been a blessing for them because as they come through, they don't get muddy and wet, and for the parents that they have something nice to see.
But even more to speak to more to that, has been a calming situation in the neighborhood. When we first got there, there was a lot of fights and stuff in the park. Now, some of the things that we do, the gardens tend to have a very calming effect on the kids. They mesmerize over the flowers. They're interested in the vegetables. A lot of them have never seen vegetables other than in the grocery store, and it's kind of like an eye opener to them. And we've got people, senior citizens, that have volunteered to come down, that have their own boxes, and we trade, vegetables and stuff at the end of the growing season. And it's a pretty happy scene.
And also to say on that, there's some people who are in part of the garden bring other people to show it off. We have people that come by just to see. It's like a little paradise that they come and see. Cars pull up and they just look.
We had some police officers.
They just stop and look.
A group of police officers came in on our street in a car, and we thought that they were out there looking for somebody. They pulled up. They formerly lived in the neighborhood. They got out with cameras and the whole nine, were taking pictures. It absolutely blew our mind. It's been an eye-opening experience for our entire neighborhood.
Entire neighborhood.
One of the things that we've realized, especially in the last 2 years, as the gardens have become more abundant, that it cheapens our food bills. The amount of fresh of vegetables that we can get and we can distribute, from the tomatoes to potatoes, that you name it, we kind of grew it. We didn't have bumper crops and everything, but we had bumper crops in some things that we could share with people in the community. People would come by and we would let them pick, cherries and cherry tomatoes and other things to take home. And it was kind of pleasant to be able to look at some vegetables that we actually started from
ourselves,
small plants.
And plus the fact that sometimes from donations we got plants, not plants, but vegetables other than the norm. So you had an opportunity sometimes to taste something that was different than what you normally buy. We had like those lemon cucumbers that no one even had heard of before, and they became the rave.
I know. One other thing with me, I was never a real asparagus lover, and we grew some asparagus, and she came up with a couple recipes, and I was at least able to eat them. And we have a spice box.
Yeah, we have a spice box.
That we grow different herbs, and she dries them, and we give them out to some of our seniors. The other stuff we keep, We glean seeds from a lot of the stuff, and we're going to try to attempt next year to grow some things from seeds. We also began to do composting. We've been experimenting with compost for next year. It's been a real growing situation for us where we were just basically people at the beginning that were scratching in the ground to now we're starting to understand a little bit more about what we're doing, and it makes it easier to do and it makes it more fun for the when you get a good result.
Well, one of the things that we did because of different donations, and sometimes because we have a 4 by 8 boxes, so sometimes what you have overgrows that box. So we're going to add another box and separate it some by kinds instead of people having one box with a conglomeration of stuff, because some things overpower other things, which we've learned by trial and error. So that's one of the things that we want to do.
What we're actually doing, we're thinking about going to a commune type situation, whereas we'll grow certain plants in one box. Instead of we having tomatoes in an individual's box, we're going to grow all the tomatoes in 1 or 2, 3 boxes. We'll all tend those. We'll grow other plants over here, the whole 9 yards, and at the end of the season, we'll share everything. Well, first and foremost is the block club members. We've had various nurseries that have donated. You guys, Grassroots Gardens, have been a tremendous help in getting it done. We've utilized the city of Buffalo, namely Henry Jackson and Steve Stepniak have been very helpful in us constructing our hanging garden wall and helping us bringing in the ground moat so we can keep the path in. And Bill Byers is Mayor's Impact Team. They come in periodically and help us keep it up clean. And this summer we had 6 kids from the Mayor's Summer Youth Program that came in, helped us weed, keep the place going, picking up garbage and straight plastic and recycling. Home Depot has been very instrumental. They are our blessing in disguise because within it they tend to make a lot of donations. And they bring their workers over. They've got a group called Team Depot. They bring them over, and Dave advises me on stuff. They have helped us rebuild fences, all kinds of stuff. We've got a conglomerate of groups that we talk to. Some we can do some things with. Other groups we help them because they're in need of things, and we tend to take things and share it. We don't try to make our garden superior to any other garden. We just garden, and within and out of that we get other people that come to us and just say, hey, you guys are doing this, how do we start? And we began to help.